So how's it been overall otherwise since Power Rangers? I mean...
Since Power Rangers, pretty good, I'd say.
It's been what, like 5 years? 4?
Longer than that.
Longer than that? Well,
yeah.
forget
Okay, so if we're talking about when I got cast, that was 2014, so 10 years. Oh my God,
10 years.
Yeah, but it didn't start airing until 2015, so we're not quite at the 10-year anniversary yet.
Okay, that's right, that's coming up here soon.
Yeah, around the corner. It's crazy, right? And
that is.
Other than my hairstyle changing, I feel like I don't look too different.
No, not really. No, you look good.
Thanks,
I mean, you stay in shape. You watch the videos. You're jumping around, flipping around.
I do jump around a lot.
You do. Yeah. It's like usually it's like you and Hector just always flipping around.
Conventions, yeah. If
Hector.
I ever get Yoshi to a con, he'll do them too.
Oh, yeah, there you go. I know I was talking to Scott, and it was like trying to get Hector not to flip off a table or a stage. It's like a full-time job.
Yeah, it's just given. You know, I did a handstand on this table yesterday's panel, actually.
Oh, really?
I did.
Uh-oh. We don't have the insurance for that.
Well, I don't fall very often.
Very often?
Well, I can't say never. I mean, sometimes I fall on my feet, like just walking.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah.
I have no sense of direction. That's good. That's good. Right on. Well, we got these folks here. I mean,
hi, folks.
If you guys want to ask questions, we got a mic up here to ask questions. I mean, Brennan and I can sit here and chit chat all day long.
We can. We can keep it going. We
we're
can start
here
a
for
podcast.
You. Oh yeah.
I don't know what we'd call it though. Do you?
No, I don't know.
But we'll workshop it.
Okay.
Anyway. But yeah, any questions?
Yeah, come on up, man.
Hello.
Hello.
So, Power Rangers Dino Charge is the American adaptation of Zuden Sentai Kyoryuger. Have you ever met any of the Kyoryuger cast, especially Kyoryu Red?
I have not met them, but I have watched all of Kyoryuger. So I'm trying, because Scott gets people to come to Morphicon from the Sentai, and so I just talked to him earlier today. I was like, when can we get Kyoryu Red to come? He's like, well, they give me like a list of people, and as it gets more popular bringing guests, they'll offer me newer people. So I'm hoping at some Morphicon he will go to it, and I will get to meet him finally.
That's cool. I'm glad do you like it? I'm sorry, I don't mean to ask a second question.
Kyoryuger? Yeah, no, I loved it. I wish we adapted some of the themes, like the melody of the earth and the underworld and all that. But I mean, Dino Charge is awesome in its own way. But yeah. Definitely.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for answering my question.
Of course.
I don't know.
Hi. Well, get meet again.
Hello again.
Okay. I want to ask, what's your favorite Power Rangers theme song that's not Dino Charge?
Not Dino Charge. I mean, okay. Mighty Morphin's theme song is legit. Like, it really is. Like, you know, as a kid watching the Megazords come out of like volcanoes and things and like running across the land with the theme. That's pretty cool. I also like Zeo and Time Force and In Space. So probably those ones. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Zeo's got a good theme song.
I know. Yeah. And Zeo has my favorite suit, gold. And
Gold
Zeo
suit.
is my favorite of all Ranger suits.
That's a good suit.
Yeah.
Hi. You were my Literal Therapy 2015.
Oh,
so
thank you.
like that was Dino Charge was the only thing I would watch the entire year. My question was, since you're the Red Ranger for Dino Charge, if you were to be the Red Ranger in any of the other Power Ranger series, which Red Ranger would you want to be?
The next series, so I can come back. No, I don't. In the past season, I like Time Force a lot, and I feel like Wes's personality is not like exactly like Tyler's or vice versa, but pretty similar, both positive and upbeat. So probably Time Force.
Time Force?
Yeah.
That's a good choice.
Right? I know. I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You gonna duke it out with Jason for the part?
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna go in the ring next month or something. I don't know who has to gain weight or lose weight though or anything. Hi.
Hey, Brennan, nice seeing you again.
Nice seeing you.
Have there been any particular fan interactions that stuck in your mind over the years, either something funny or touching?
So I didn't hear the first part there. Any what?
Like any parts that are funny?
Any particular like fan interactions that stuck with you or stand out over the years?
Fan interactions that stand out? Well, I've had people challenge me to like push-up contests and handstand contests. I've had people ask me to do handstands on them. What else? Backflips with people have been cool. But like, I have to make sure they know what they're doing. Like, they gotta prove themselves. I'm not gonna watch you like die right now doing a backflip with me on camera. So, yeah, probably when they do acrobatics against me, that's always fun.
Okay. Nice seeing you. I'll see you at Power Morphicon again.
Yeah, I'll be there.
All right,
See you there.
Yeah, that's right. Power Morphicon's here.
Yeah, right around the corner like everything. Hello.
Hello. All right. So my question is, individually, if each of the Dino Charge members were were put into the zombie apocalypse and they didn't have Power Ranger powers, how well do you think each of the members of the team would do?
How would Rangers
I've never
do
been
without powers in a zombie apocalypse?
Yeah,
I
this
mean,
is
we don't
something
have
I
any
spend way too much
powers.
time.
It's like just our personalities.
Yeah, just your personalities. I'm assuming Kodo would have a great time.
Michael
but-
Tabor's dead. I think Camille's gone. Miss Morgan would be smart and probably survive. I think Tyler would probably try to save someone and then get bitten. I mean, he'd do his best, but he'd be like, look, someone needs help. Coda would definitely be stronger than them, and I feel like he would try to bite them back. Ivan would be fine. He's a knight. He's trained with a sword. He'd survive. Philip, unless he has Ivan protecting him, he's gone. Tyler's dad, I don't know. He was gone for 10 years of my life, so he's probably gone anyway. Who else? Who am I missing? Is that everyone? No, Silver. Zenowing's an alien. He's fine.
He's cool.
Yeah, he'd just fly above them and be like, whatever. Yeah,
All right, thank you very much.
of course. What's up, Dustin?
Hello. So, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was a really big part of my childhood, and then I was able to enjoy Dino Charge with my own children. So I was curious if there was any early childhood or memories you had of your early life and interactions with the Power Rangers.
So I never, because cons either weren't as much of a thing or I didn't know about them when I was a kid. Were they really in the 90s?
Oh yeah.
In the
Oh
beginning,
yeah.
with
We
Power
used to have
Rangers too?
SacCon and
Okay. Well, I
SacAnime.
just wasn't aware. Okay, I wasn't in the in crowd at the time. There wasn't Instagram to be like, go to this con. Other than Halloween and dressing up, I'd play with my friends. So we'd
Okay.
collect all the Megazords.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because
Yeah.
that was the same feeling, playing with your friends and being
Yeah,
the
and they
Power
come
Rangers.
over and we used to, when you pretend to be a Power Ranger or something, we would call it let's play big, and then when we'd play small, we'd play with our toys.
Oh,
But
yeah,
big
yeah.
is us pretending to be something. Oh,
Okay.
that's what we called it when we were kids. And so then we would play the Super Nintendo Mighty Morphin game where you're the Megazords fighting the monsters
Oh,
and
nice.
stuff. I don't remember the name of it, but yeah, so just hanging out with friends and watching it. So,
Very cool. Thank you.
of course.
All right.
Any other questions?
Oh, I think he's coming back. He's coming back.
Come
from
back.
Second helping.
Round two.
Yeah, if you
it.
got questions, come on.
Just keep it going. Get your steps in. Ask, walk away. Ask, walk away.
So you were in crossovers with other Ranger teams. Who was your favorite person to meet out of all of these big crossovers? Because you crossed over with Mighty Morphin, crossed over with Ninja Steel. Who's your favorite person to meet from all those crossovers?
Yeah, I actually almost crossed over with Ninja Steel. So they were initially going to do a Dino Charge and Ninja Steel team up, and then a separate 25th anniversary team up. But then, I don't know, due to budget or whatever, they just did the Ninja Steel anniversary. And then they were only going to, because initially they were going to take a bunch of us. And they're actually, we can only take one. And then they kept emailing all of us and whittling away, sorry, it's not going to be you, it's not going to be you. And then it was me and Yoshi. And then I was like, dude, his brother's in Ninja Steel, just take him, it's okay.
Yeah. But you were with the one where they crossed over with
Beast Morphers.
Beast Morphers and
Yes.
Dino Thunder
Yeah.
and all the dinosaur ones.
Yeah,
Just
so
based off a Sentai movie.
I only got to meet Austin, though, out of the Dino ones. The others were in-suit actors. So I guess I'd have to say Austin then, other than the Beast Morpher cast.
Oh, that's cool. Thank you.
Of course, thank you.
This is an actual weird but fair question.
Weird and fair.
Do you think that the Japanese series Lupin Ranger versus Spartan Ranger would be like a good Power Ranger team, like two teams facing off against each other?
So I only know about the theme. I haven't seen that particular Sentai, but I think it'd be cool, personally. I know some people are like, would Tokyuger do as well here? Trains aren't quite as popular in America.
It was a little more campy too.
Yeah, so I understand why they skip around here and there unless they're going to film a lot of original footage. But I think the Lupin Ranger one sounds like something that could work given the right script.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
of course.
All right, so my question is, growing up, did you have any characters from Power Rangers that were your favorite, as a kid watching the early series?
Yeah, so in Mighty Morphin, it was, again, that's where I started with Power Rangers. So it's hard to be I had a specific favorite. Blue's my favorite color, so for that reason, I was like, Billy! But, Tommy being the bad boy ranger was super cool. And then Red being the leader, and then Black Ranger was awesome. I don't know, like, I feel like I'm just giving that super neutral answer that is annoying. It doesn't really tell you anything, but I really can't pick a favorite.
All right, yeah, thank you very much.
Of course.
Yeah, like Billy's smart, Tommy's the Lone Ranger.
Yeah.
Austin's
Texas
the
Lone-
leader.
Texas style. That's different.
Kimberly's just Kimberly.
Yeah, she does gymnastics.
Yeah.
remember-
That's you, right? I mean,
I did circus. I never did
yeah.
gymnastics.
Well, circus. I mean, acrobatics. Being a circus acrobat. I mean, that's nothing to scoff
It
at.
would have been cool if Tyler was like written as like when his dad left him 10 years ago. He joined the circus because he had no parents or something. I don't know. In a different dimension.
He's an orphan. Oh.
He was raised by Batman.
There you
He's
go.
actually Nightwing. That'd be a fun crossover. Yeah. Any other questions? You guys look amazing, by the way. Yeah. You're like, we know. Thank you for telling us. You're welcome. Oh. Yeah. Well, I don't even know.
So I mean, well, I guess a question I like to ask is, obviously getting into Power Rangers, you grew up with it. It's definitely a series that has stood the test of time. I mean, 1994.
Yeah, 30 years.
30 years to step into that legacy, even so far down the road with Dino Charge. I mean, what is that like?
It was stressful, actually, because having been a fan of Power Rangers, because like I've been on other shows that are fairly popular, like American Horror Story or Secret Life of the American Teenager, Kicking It, but I wasn't invested in those shows the same way I was invested in Power Rangers, affecting me personally. For instance, when I booked American Horror Story, that was season 1, and I only watched it once I booked it, because like, I need to see what the heck I'm gonna be in, versus Power Rangers. Like, I've watched multiple seasons of this show, or series, so once Dino Charge came out and was pretty well received overall. I mean, everyone has their favorites.
Yeah.
Whatever. It felt like just a weight off my shoulders, because I was like, okay,
I did okay.
I didn't mess it up. I wasn't like, oh, we used to like Power Rangers, and we saw you, and now we hate it. Like, that was my fear. So,
That's understandable.
yeah.
And then to live up to that, to have shows like this, conventions. I mean, obviously, I've met you years ago, and it's been a pleasure knowing you, of course.
Likewise.
I think one of my favorite things is the character Tyler is so upbeat and positive, and then you meet Brennan, and Brennan's Tyler. I mean, this is Tyler. You're meeting Tyler. It's fantastic.
That's one thing, actually, one of my acting coaches used to tell us. So you'll get certain scripts occasionally where you write NAN on the top, which stands for no acting necessary, because the character is just so like you. And Tyler was that character for me. I mean, like, yeah, I'm still acting, I get it. But in regards to personality versus some other shows I've been in, like when I did that Bruce Willis movie, Corrective Measures, I was like in prison. Like, that's totally not how I normally vibe.
That'd be weird to see that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could. I'd be like, no.
Or Supergirl, I was a drug dealer. Like, also a thing that's not me. So
That's like seeing Brendan McLaren in Rookie as the gangster boss.
Right,
It's
yeah.
like he was SPD Red,
Yep.
and then to see him as a gangster boss, drug dealer, evil
Yes.
guy. It's just like, this is
or
so
Jessica
weird.
Jones.
Yes.
Yeah, so
this
like
is so weird.
Yeah.
I understand acting, you got to do your thing, but
Sure.
it's just like you get so used to seeing one thing.
correct. So Power Rangers was definitely like the glove. If it's like a glove, like literally this is a character. I feel like I can just wake up and walk on set and I just learn the lines and I speak and it's what Tyler should sound like and say, because that's so close to Brennan.
Yeah.
That was nice.
That's nice.
Yeah. We got line for questions.
More questions.
Okay, this is the last one before I go. And it did say no ship. They did say no ship, of course. But we already knew that Tyler and I forgot Shelby already got together. Everyone, the ship is already confirmed. They don't need that ship in question. So I want to ask, if you were living in a Dino Charge world, the one after you travel back in time in the final episode, what would you name? What would you name your pet T-Rex?
Like if I had an actual T-Rex?
Yeah.
I mean, probably Rexy Jr. or something.
Yeah.
My Megazord's Rexy, so yeah,
Okay.
got to keep the trend alive.
All right, thank you.
Of course.
Pull it from Kyoryuger, it's Gabutira.
That's true. Or, yeah, the Gabu revolver.
Yeah.
Gabu, Gabu. At the end of the episodes where they dance with the Megazord. It's so ridiculous. It's great, though. Hello again.
So, standard question. Because cast have had to move to New Zealand, and most of you are made to live basically in the same house together. Any particular jokes, pranks you play on each other, either offset or onset?
Yeah, so not every season lives together. Actually, after Dino Charge, we made a point to tell all the new seasons to not live together. Not that you don't like each other, but when you're filming on set 12 to 15 hours and then you go to your house and you're with your castmates again, I see them more than like I've seen any of my family members for like 8 months. It's like just them all the time. And when you're sleep deprived, you don't get along as well as you normally would. So it was more just like we all agreed like, yeah, we're gonna live here together, because initially Yoshi and I were gonna move out once Davi got there in season 2, but then Davi decided to move on his own, and so then we couldn't move out without a random person moving into the house, and so we got stuck in the house, and then I was gonna move out, but then certain rangers were like, no, you can't have random people move in. I was like, fine, I'll stay. But then 2 weeks later, they moved out, and then so we had random people move in, and I got stuck in the house. It was this whole thing. But I don't know if that was so much of a prank just versus behind the scenes for you. But on set, I mean, on a couple scenes, like there was one where I was supposed to be like, guys, let's go, or something, and run off into the forest and fight bad guys. And so I was like, Mina, ikuzo! So I just said it in Japanese, and the stunt team was like, ha, very funny, do it again. Just things like that, we had fun. And then there was a Halloween episode where Michael Tabor and I switched places because we were all in ghost costumes. So we actually did the scene as each other. And then when we had to dub it in the studio, he had to dub me and I had to dub him because we just pretended to be each other. The director didn't even know. So, yeah.
That's great.
Good question.
Hello again.
Hello.
So related to Power Rangers is Kamen Rider. Is there any Kamen Riders that have you watched any Kamen Riders or any Kamen Rider you like?
The only Kamen Rider I've seen is Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, because Stephen Ford's one of my best friends and he played Kit in the American adaptation. So actually it was after Kamen Rider, but before Power Rangers, we did a bunch of Twilight spoofs on YouTube, which are still on YouTube, and I played Jacob Black in it.
Oh my gosh.
You should totally watch it. Fun fact, I auditioned for Jacob Black in Twilight back in the day. I know, what could have been, right? I know, I could have been a werewolf instead of a Power Ranger. But, Yeah, so that's really the only Kamen Rider I've seen. So.
Oh, that's cool, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
I think Scott's going to have Decade at Morphicon.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I saw that and I was like, oh.
Yeah, Steven came to one of the Morphicons before too.
Hi. I had a very, this is out of pocket question.
Sure.
But if, for example, Dino Charge ever did have an extra episode, if you were to collaborate with any other Power Rangers series, making an iconic episode, Dino Charge and just another Power Rangers series, who would you want to collaborate with?
See, normally I would say Time Force, but because we've done a team up with all Dino themes, I'd like to finish that collection and do one with Dino Fury / Cosmic Fury, whatever the heck you want to call them, something Fury, just to be we teamed up with all the Dinos teamed up together, or a Forever Red 2 or something, but then obviously have the Dino Fury and Cosmic Fury Reds in there.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello. All right.
Hello.
So I had a question about during Power Rangers fight scenes, when you guys do the sound effect voiceovers, huh, huh, hiya. I'm curious as to how the behind the scenes process goes. Do you record a unique set for each episode's fight scenes, or is it you record it all at the beginning of the season?
Like a database of it?
Yeah, it basically gets reused.
It's per episode. Good question.
Okay.
So yeah, every time we do Unleash the Power, it's about to get whatever it is, you do it fresh every single time.
Oh, okay. That surprised me.
Yeah, and you do multiple takes of it too, because then they'll ultimately choose. Because there have been episodes where I've given a specific take that I really liked, and then when I watch the episode, it's not the take they chose. So they'll have me record 3 to 5 or whatever, and then it's up to some higher up person.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that was a watered down version. Why'd you choose that? And I'm I don't get to edit it though.
All right. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Of course.
You do ADR, do all your bumps and everything too? Do you have to go back and do all that? After the fight scenes, you do all your bumps.
Yeah, all of it. Yeah, you go in there and when you hit a wall or something, or get thrown into a lake or whatever the fight is. Yeah.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello, good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
I like the color choice.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. It's a Mario.
Oh, always.
So earlier you mentioned Nightwing for a quick second, and since we're talking about superheroes and Power Rangers being superheroes, what character would you like Because I could totally see you as like Nightwing, but is there a character maybe from the DC universe that you would like to portray?
I mean, other than Nightwing from DC specifically, if they did like, I don't know, a guy version of Zatara, because I actually talk backwards and that's her whole magic thing, or if I could be her dad as a younger version or something.
Zatara.
Yeah, Zatara.
Yeah.
Or is Zatara her or Zatanna? I always get them mixed up.
He's Zatara. She's
Okay, I meant Zatanna, but yeah, either way, something but yeah, because backwards talking for, like, that'd be so cool. You wouldn't even have to, like, get me to memorize the script that way. I could just do it. So I feel like I was born to play that role, but not at the same time. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Of course. And if we're talking about Marvel, then probably a version of Spider-Man would be cool. So,
There you go.
yeah. Miguel O'Hara, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you could.
$20.99?
Miguel, yeah.
Come on.
Hello, thank you for your time. You were my favorite
course.
Power Ranger growing up as a kid. Just want to thank you so much for
Oh,
being
my
part of
pleasure.
the whole franchise. My only one question is, as far as your acting career, what was the biggest obstacle that you had to overcome throughout your journey?
I think a lot of it is imposter syndrome, and it's something that you continually deal with. I mean, at least as an actor, I don't know. I know a lot of other careers, people feel that way too. Like, when do you feel like you're good enough now to be quote unquote a professional? When someone gives you money, or is it like when someone tells you you're doing a good job, but then you read one critique that says you were horrible, and then like you feel like you're an imposter again? So it's learning to be basically like content with your own work. Like, regardless of what someone else says, did I give 100% on whatever that project was? And whether someone likes that or not, I can't control that. It's like some people like vanilla ice cream, some like pistachio. I can't help it if you don't like the pistachio ice cream performance I gave because you really like vanilla. Like, there's nothing I can do about that. But for someone who likes pistachio and they're like, oh yeah, that was good, and then we're on the same page.
Okay. Thank you so much.
course.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Ice cream analogies, the best kind.
Hey, it works.
It does.
Does anybody else have any questions? We got plenty of space up here if you want to come ask a question.
We do.
And we've had the 3 people. Let's see, we got 1 left that keeps asking questions. That's fine. That's
Yeah,
fine.
we had that
That's all good.
circle going.
Yeah,
There were
they were
steps in.
they're just rotating through.
Yeah.
but-
Well, let's see. So I have questions for you guys. Like, anyone have New Year's resolutions? Yeah? What's your New Year's resolution?
Gonna finish my book.
Finish your book?
Yeah.
Nice. What is it about?
It's kind of it's a series. I'm calling it Key Warrior Wolf, and it's with KI. It's basically like a tokusatsu kind of inspired kind of thing with it's like a mix of Sentai / Power Rangers and Kamen Rider.
Nice.
It's kind of a mix of the two with like fighting villains and there's like a collectibles thing. You use cards to transform.
That's awesome. I actually wrote most of a fitness book years ago, and then I never finished it. So heck, maybe I should do that this year too.
There's a New Year's resolution.
I know, because like it's not for me to go to the gym. If anything, I need to go to the gym less, because I'm there too often. But maybe I should write a book to help other people.
There you go.
Yeah.
Motivational.
Yeah, something.
I think it's right up your alley.
I would like that. Yeah, I think it's not a bad way to go. So we'll see. But yeah, audition-wise though, because people are like, what's your dream role? And even aside from Power Rangers, I've grown up watching a ton of superhero shows. Like Smallville was like, an amazing one. The Arrowverse, things like that. So if I could graduate, I guess, into like the more adult versions of shows with superheroes would be cool.
Like Rose McIver went from Power Rangers RPM to iZombie.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
And Anna Hutchinson, she moved on. Yeah.
Yep. And so because it's always funny because there are certain roles that people, when you book them, they're like, this is going to be the one that opens all these doors. And then like nothing changes overnight. Because like when I did Corrective Measures, like it had some big names in it, like Bruce Willis, Tom Cavanaugh from The Flash and all these things. And like the movie was fairly well received, but like it's not like that magically made the phone go off the hook with my agents. And now like, here's 50 roles. Do you want all of them? Like it's not that way. No. So you just keep going and like you enjoy every day. Because I know a lot of actors deal with depression because they're like, unless I'm on set, I'm not happy. I was like, well, you're not going to be happy very often then, because unless you're on a show like as a main, you're usually not on set. So you got to have other reasons, like, to get up every day and be like, something else that keeps you going.
Sir.
I came in late, so I apologize if this is a redundant question. But prior to booking your season of Power Rangers, did you watch any of the Super Sentai or previous Power Ranger seasons?
Yeah, I watched Power Rangers. So Mighty Morphin came out when I was 3. and I watched it up until about Lost Galaxy, and then I kind of fell off and jumped in here and there. Sentai-wise, I didn't watch any until I booked Dino Charge, and then my stunt double, because our stunt team, Alpha Stunts, they're from Japan, so he had a copy of the Kyoryuger footage, and so he gave it to me to watch, and so I was watching it while filming Dino Charge. And that's the only one I've seen so far, but I watched like the movie crossovers too. I haven't seen Dino Force Brave, which I believe is the Korean version, if I'm not mistaken. I remember for April Fool's, though, I posted, someone photoshopped my team into the Dino Force Brave costumes. And so I was like, yeah, season 3 is coming out. And people thought it was real. I was like, sorry, it's not. But
At least I don't know of.
yeah, no, they didn't. But there is that footage out there. It does exist, at least in Korean.
When watching Kyoryuger, were you watching, because you've got your Dino Charge episodes based off Kyoryuger. Did you watch those Kyoryuger episodes and you get your Dino Charge script and you're like, eh.
So, I mean, what takes place is obviously very different.
Oh, yeah.
So, but the energy, or like going into the fights, or the way Daigo, the Kyoto Red, would do his fight sequences, and I loved his energy, so I wanted to do my own version of it, but I wanted to pay respect to the source material at the same time. So I hope I got that across, at least in the suit. Like, Tyler's fighting, but like he's always positive in the fights. He's like joking, like, yeah, let's go, Rexy, you know, versus like, I don't know, it's another fight, let's do it. Like, nothing that
I liked in Kyoryuger, he's like, I'm king, you can call me king, and everybody's like, no.
No, yeah, you're not a king.
No,
and then they had that king season, and then they had like his son in it or something.
Yeah.
With him. I wish he was in it, but that's all right. What can you do? What can you do?
Well, considering that in Japan, the Super Sentai, they're more adult-oriented episodes than they are here in the States because, you know, standards and practices in the FCC has a lot to do with.
Oh, 100%. Like, I remember, I can't remember what season, but like in Mighty Morphin, it switched from bad guys, like in fights, being able to be hit in the head, and then after that, they were only allowed to like fight the body, so there's no more headshots in any season after that point. But I think then when they did the Once and Always, they were able to do it again because it was like Netflix. Because I can't even remember. I'd have to re-see it, but my brain feels like I saw someone get hit in the head. I was like, that wasn't allowed in the normal seasons anymore, but I guess it was for the special.
Too many young kids jumping off couches.
Yeah, I get it. Like, I dressed as Batman as a kid and jumped off and hit my
yeah.
head into a planter. I mean, not that Batman even did that. I just did it. But
And the Sentai really deals with death a lot because in Zoo Rangers, Barai, which was Pandora's son, actually dies in the series.
oh yeah, and Kyoryuger, like 2 of the Rangers are spirit Rangers. Like they're dead. Like,
They're ghosts. Yeah.
So it was cool. And then like I noticed the thing that's always weird in Power Rangers, when we get beat up, we just get dirty. Like, we don't bleed, you know? But like in Kyoryuger, they get cut and stuff. You know? Like, it actually damaged you versus like, you look like you went through a mud puddle. You must have gotten beat up. Like, thanks.
Another difference I noticed too between the two is in Sentai, there's always helmet damage.
Yeah.
And you know, here in the States, there is hardly any.
They do it sometimes. Like, Time Force did it. Beast Morphers did it. We didn't. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they just don't want to pay the money to break a helmet. Yeah.
Did Lightspeed rescue? Because I remember because they had the masks underneath their helmets.
I can't
That was
remember.
part of
I
it.
feel like SPD did it too. But I don't know. Yeah.
They did it with the Psycho Rangers, but I'm not.
Yeah, it's always cool. Lost Galaxy, I think, did it. I thought the Red Ranger had a broken helmet too. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so here and there, you know. Oh, questions?
More questions.
Okay, so my question is, Power Rangers is known for being like proudly cheesy, right? And I'm sure that when you signed up for Power Rangers, you knew that it was going to be like a lot of like, you know, silly and cheesy moments. But I was curious as to if there was like maybe a particular like episode or topic that like the actors found like very silly or cheesy to the point where like it was hard to like maintain a straight face or something like that.
It wasn't so much maintaining a straight face. I guess my least favorite one was like when he fought a monster and he had like a fart attack, and I was like, do we really like, do we have to go there? I was like, it's a kid show, it's funny. I was like, is it though? But, you know,
A little too much.
yeah, but I mean, then like kids would laugh, and I was like, okay, it is funny. I guess I'm just too old for that
Fart jokes
particular
are
joke.
always funny.
Apparently, you know, that wasn't my cup of tea personally.
I'm just really immature. That's okay.
Fair enough. But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Oh, hey, in Turbo, they got baked into a pie.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, pizza? Was it pizza?
I think, I don't know. I mean, there were fun parts, you know, like when we had to eat a bunch of the pavlovas in the competition. When we lost our courage, like our backbone, that one was a fun episode. And they didn't let us riff as much as we wanted. Like, I remember, because I wanted to improv and be like, you know, like, don't make me go down the dino slide or whatever. Like, I'll give you whatever you want. Like, I'll give you my Jeep. If you don't want my Jeep, I'll give you my Energem or like whatever. And like, they didn't want me to, like, I thought it was funny because like the cast and the crew were actually laughing the more I got to like make it up. But the director's like, no, say exactly what the script says. Like, that's not as funny. But, you know.
All right, yeah, thank you very much.
Of course.
Back again.
Yes.
So the previous Sentai you mentioned about the Kings was Osama Sentai King Oger, and that was the King Kyoryu Red.
I love that suit though. I like how
It
it keeps the
is.
Dino Supercharger Carnival helmet, but then the suit
The
itself
Osama
is different.
set-
Yeah, and it
yeah.
has the cape.
Yeah, it's amazing. So if they ever adapted Osama Sentai King Oger and they did that episode, would you return for
100%.
that?
Yeah, because then I have an excuse to go get that costume made. Because right now I'm like, it's not technically my character, so I don't want to go. Like, because I have my suit. I had a friend who's a seamstress, and she made it for me. So I have Dino Charge, but I don't have Super Charge either or anything. But of
That's cool. Thank you.
course.
Hi.
Hello again.
Hello again. So I'm an actor, but I'm also interested in doing stunts. So my question is, what's a good baseline to sort of strive for or try to have in terms of flexibility or acrobatics to start doing stunts? Because I also have 10 years of experience in martial arts.
Amazing.
So yeah, just
Yeah, so stunts, there's this big misconception that everyone needs to know how to do like crazy flips and like stuff with nunchucks and swords. It really depends on what kind of stunts A, you want to do, and obviously B, the more you can do, the more opportunity there is, because a lot of stunts, it's known as wrecks, like getting like in a wreck, like how can you take a punch, like on camera, or falling downstairs, or getting bumped into, or falling to the ground. It's not typically like a crazy action fight. That's more the rarity in movies, you know? Like John Wick, obviously a bunch of people get in fights all the time, but that's a specific stunt team that is hired for those movies called 8711. And so they train together to like work on each other's timing and all of that, and they go through the same training regimen weekly versus most stunts. So like I do a lot of stunts on NCIS, and for that, it's like they tell me like, yeah, you're gonna have a fight scene, it's you against 3 people. We're not doing an extra day rehearsal, so we'll have you come in earlier that day. So literally I get there, and more often than not, they don't have a fight choreographer. So some stunt coordinators will bring a fight choreographer if they're not one themselves. Other times they'll be like, yeah, you guys just come up with something and then show it to me, and then I may change things here and there, and then you show it to the actors who are gonna be in the fights. And then sometimes the actor will wanna do all of it themselves. Other times they'll want you to do like the parts that look more painful, like getting slammed into a wall, and then they'll do like a little switch, and then they come in and do like the heroic poses. But honestly, you're probably more qualified already with 10 years of martial arts than a lot of people in stunts. I do stunts with people who are, you know, like in their 40s or 50s who can't throw a kick to save their lives, but they're really good at reactions, getting beat up, thrown into walls, just taking a beating, honestly, for camera. But you get to pad up too if your character has long sleeves and stuff on. If you're in a shirtless fight scene, tough luck, like you can't pad that. Yeah, so it's really just the willingness, and then a lot of it is networking. Auditions are the acting side. Stunts, there's not auditions unless it's like a commercial where they want us, like, I want you to do parkour for Red Bull or something. But typically it's like, hey, we need someone to double this person. Like I did stunts on Obi-Wan Kenobi for Kumail Nanjiani, and I have a website. I think that one was istunts.com. There's a couple different ones, and you put like a profile, your demo reel, you can list the skills you're good at. And then they emailed me and they're like, hey, you know, because they also can search by like height and weights and all that stuff. And I looked like him, I had long hair at the time. And obviously he got pretty built for the Eternals and stuff, and I work out sometimes. And so they were like, do you want to come in and do it? And it wasn't like, can you do these specific skills? But I ended up not even doing much. Like I was there for several weeks, and it was like me on top of a building from far away, because he was doing like another scene or something, or he went home early or whatever. So they just filmed me instead of him, just like crouching on a rooftop. Or another scene like where he gets thrown by the force into the wall and choked. I was gonna do it, but then he wanted to do it. So all I got to do was give him my pads to put on. And then every scene, because he wanted to do it multiple times, like, you want me to do it for you this time? He's like, no, I got it. So I didn't even do it. Like, I was just there in case. So you're just there often, like, you teach them the choreo, you give them the pads, and then if they don't want to do it, you step in.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello.
So I was wondering, what were the dynamics like on set when you would do crossover episodes with like the Rangers on your team and then also the Rangers on the crossover?
Yeah, it's honestly, it's weird because like Austin St. John never worked with the New Zealand crew because obviously he filmed in California for Mighty Morphin. But for us, it was literally the same crew that we worked with. Most of the people were the same, so it was like a reunion. But we also don't want to overstep and like overshadow and be like, you know, we're being respectful. Like, we know we're here as guests this time. It's not our show. So at least for me, I was like, okay, I'm gonna, you know, when invited into conversations more versus like trying to, you know what I mean? Like, it's someone else's party, you know? And so, but they were very welcoming. I'm still friends with the Beast Morpher cast. So whenever I see them at cons, we always have a good time.
Okay, thank you.
Of course.
Back again.
Back again.
Yeah. Okay, so I'd like to ask questions about the Power Ranger suit, actually. So, like, is it hot to wear spandex, and like, is it comfortable to wear for long amounts of time? And also regarding the helmet, I realize this is kind of a second question, but regarding the helmet, how easy is it to see through it? Because it doesn't look very easy to see through to me.
Yeah, so most of the time, as in like all of the time, when it's in suit, it's a stunt double. Even if you can do the stunts, again, it's easier for them time-wise to film the acting stuff and the stunt stuff on 2 different units. And then also if we got hurt, how much that would slow down production. So they let us do some of the fights outside of the suits. But yeah, we put them on for like photo ops and stuff and promotional material. They're not the easiest thing to move in, especially the Dino Charge one, because we have that armor piece on one shoulder. We have the claws where your wrists bend, so it's hard to like do back handsprings and things. Because I do acrobatics too, but I do not envy the fights they have to do in those. I mean, yeah, they get a helmet, I guess, which is like, hooray, safety, kind of, but it's just hard to breathe. You can see through them, though. They typically spray it with some kind of like defogger on the inside, because if you breathe in a mask normally or helmet for like 2 minutes, you can't see unless you add something. But they had a rule on set, they could only have them on 15 minutes at a time. Because it's one thing to walk around an air-conditioned convention, it's another thing to be out in summer doing a crazy fight scene against monsters also who can't see well or breathe well in their suits. So they got breaks to make sure no one passed out.
All right, yeah, thank you very much.
Of course. Yeah, and some of them have holes in the visors, but like Dino Charge doesn't. Yes?
The other day, I caught my niece watching an old iCarly episode that you were in.
Oh, that was the oldest iCarly episode. Yeah, the first one.
Being on that episode of iCarly and being pretty much part of an iconic series as Power Rangers, what genre do you like more? The action adventure kids show or the comedic kids show like our iCarly?
I'd probably gravitate towards the action, but honestly, I just enjoy storytelling and acting in general. So if it's well written and it's a good cast and crew to work with, I would do either. I think it's fun, and the challenge of doing different types of stories. Filming for Power Rangers was cool because obviously this was the longest I've spent being the same character in a show. So you really get to kind of like grow dynamically and see if you want to start shifting the way your character, you know, is. You know, as humans, we grow, we change, right? And you know, what changes more towards the better? Does your character get worse in some areas? Versus like when I guest star on like Supergirl, I was in 1 episode. And so you could have a story arc in an hour still, but it's more rushed versus 2 seasons of a show. iCarly, I was in that 1 episode and like that 1 scene, you know, talking backwards. So I can't say my character had like an arc where it was like, you know, I started off as like on a quest, and by the end, like, you know, it was like, hey, say these words backwards for our web show. Okay, like, that's really the whole arc of Brennan Mejia. So, good question, though. Huh.
Being on a show like Power Rangers, you become part of a legacy because look at how many previous seasons there was before yours, and to be part of that culture where pretty much nobody knows you as Brendan, but they know you as a Red Dino Charge Ranger. I mean, that's got
Oh, 100%. And I know some people don't like being typecast or like, I hate that I'm remembered only as whatever. I'm like, I think it's cool that we're remembered at all. So like, I don't personally get offended by that, but I understand because they don't want to be locked into a specific type of thing. But I think you only get locked in if you allow yourself to be locked in. Like someone may create the typecast box, but you have to walk into that room and shut the door yourself. So if you're willing to put in the work to show you have range outside of just being on a, a kid's show that obviously is loved by adults as well, well, that's on you on some level.
Well, that's true. You're only typecast if those are the only types of roles that you accept.
Yeah. And at the same time, though, I don't know, like Liam Neeson plays a lot of similar roles, for instance, like Taken versus, I don't even know the other names, but I see the trailer, I'm like, it's kind of like the same thing again, but by no means would I not take that career. If someone's like, hey, do you want to be in all these awesome action movies? I'm like, yeah, cool, I don't care. Typecast me as a hero saving people, fighting bad guys. Like, that means consistent work. Like, I get to travel to cool places, So I'm not bothered by that as much, but, I get, again, people are like, I'm only an actor if I can play 10 different types of people in a year. I don't know. But everyone, each their own.
I'll be the grumpy old hero, sure.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, I like being part of cool stories, so
Yeah.
if the role makes sense and I can do it authentically, that's cool for me.
Has there been something that's come down the pipe at you that your agent sends you and you read it and you look at it and you go, that's just not good storytelling?
Yes, and I will not say the names of such things.
Fair enough.
But yeah, there are some things I'm like, wow, I really could be a writer if this is something that's already been picked up and I'm not a writer. I'm like, you're friends with someone who has money, because I don't get it. But again, oftentimes that could be a first draft. It could change on the day. The actors may be allowed to improvise. So a lot of movies, especially if it's a director's beginning career, they'll collaborate with you a lot versus a director who's set in their ways. I mean, it depends on the person, but oftentimes you get creative input on some level.
That's cool.
And they'll be like, yeah, if you want to do one the way I wrote it, so it's in the can, but if you do a way that's better, that's subjective, obviously, in art. But if you can convince them through your performance, they're filming it. They're usually not going to yell cut if you go off script a little bit. They'll just tell you to do another take. So sometimes you got to walk that fine line between honoring everything that's written in the way they want you to do it. But some directors, I've had directors that don't direct in a way that translates well to an actor versus do it, but do it more sad. What does that mean? That's such a, but be happier. Do you want me to be higher inflection in my voice? Do you want me to smile more? Or do you mean actually feel it? So they want you to look a certain way, but not necessarily invoke it authentically, depending on the situation. I remember there's a scene in Power Rangers actually in one of the episodes where I was supposed to be having this deep conversation with another Power Ranger, and I wanted to do it a little more lost and hurt, because I was talking about my dad abandoned me for 10 years and he's missing, I'm still looking for him. And then the director wanted me to do it but it's still Power Rangers, you're still super campy and you're positive about it. I was I know Tyler's positive.
I've lost my dad.
My dad's missing, it's cool though. That didn't make sense to me. And I kept wanting to do it my way, but I respected him more than I respected my gut. And literally, after that episode, we got a note from Saban, and he's like, oh yeah, I thought it was great, but in that one episode, I wish that one, Tyler was more serious. I was I know! I was come on! So it just, I don't know, it's a hard line, because it's such a collaboration, and you want to be respectful. It's not the actor's job to rewrite the script. That's not cool to do. But it's also you who's on screen forever, not the other people. So if you really think it's not good, you can try to talk your way through it, but you may get fired if you fight enough. But then again, if it's that bad in your mind, do you want that to be immortalized forever at the same time? And then you don't know what take they're gonna use for the final product, and will it make people think you're a bad actor when it was really the one take you didn't want to do, but you did it for them anyway? So what you see isn't the only performance that was given, is my point. So.
That makes sense.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. Yeah.
Back for more.
Yeah, back for more.
Let's go. All right. All right, so since we're at an anime convention, I figured I should ask another question about anime. So recently, with anime, we've been getting more like live action adaptations, and action is probably one of the most popular genres within anime. So I'm curious, as if there's any anime you would want to be a part of the live action adaptation for. Is there any that you have in mind?
My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer. I don't think I look like anyone in Naruto, but maybe from like the Lightning Clan or something. Potentially where B's from. Maybe.
I think they can make it work, yeah.
Yeah, something. I don't know. It'd be cool. But yeah, definitely. I mean, there have been very few live action ones that have been good, but I don't.
Very few.
Yeah, well, the Rurouni Kenshin ones. Have you seen those?
No, I haven't watched those yet.
Those were actually really good.
After getting burned like on Attack on Titan, Death Note, it was like, I'm out.
Well, One Piece. I mean, honestly,
One Piece was.
I feel like I could have auditioned for Luffy. Like,
Yeah,
he has a
I
similar
think you could have,
personality
yeah.
to me. I don't know, maybe for Ace when they get to that point. But yeah, that'd be cool. I saw the Yu Yu Hakusho one. I thought the fight scenes were cool. It actually reminded me of Power Ranger fight scenes on some level. I was curious if some of the stunt guys were the same from the Sentai. Just like the way they moved, it really made, like, I wouldn't be surprised if some of them were from Super Sentai. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much.
Of course.
Right on.
Other questions? Other comments, concerns? No?
Well, we're definitely we're hitting towards the top of the hour.
Yeah, guys, so we're almost done. So if there's any last remarks you guys want to know, otherwise I will be at my booth again, which is, I don't know where I am. I'm near the other guest. So wherever that is, yeah, I'm there somewhere.
So.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, he's over on the wall
I'm near
there.
them, but I'm not like in their line because I'm not anime.
Look
I'm
at look at David Sovolov and go left.
Yeah, like it's always funny when I go to conventions that are anime related. Like, I'm always thankful to go, but obviously I'm not anime, so they don't put me, like, with anime. So I'm really trying, like, I want to do anime really bad. I want to voice something, because A, I watch anime, I grew up watching anime, and B, it's really just more of A, I just want to do anime. It's like a bucket list thing. I want to be in an anime. And I've done voiceover work, like I have an animated film coming out later this year called Ultra Duck, but it's not an anime. It's still super cool, but, like, I want to voice an anime. So, like, one day, it will happen. We'll see. I mean, I want to do Power Rangers, and that happened. So who knows?
If you weren't cast as the red Dino Ranger, what color would you have preferred to have been?
Well, in Dino Charge or any color?
In Dino Charge.
Okay, I guess character, like personality-wise, it would have been cool to be gold as well. I like Ivan. I think he's cool. And I got to wear his cape cloaky thing in one episode too. I actually wore it before he wore it, and then Shelby bought it for his character later. And then
It's like
it was my look
when they
first.
brought him into the president, they're trying to get him fashion forward.
I tried to keep that actually because they let us keep 10 outfit items from the show. I was like, oh, can I have the Xandar cloak I wore? And Davi actually took it. They wouldn't let him keep his original for some reason, but they gave him mine. And I was like, I asked for that. It wasn't even his character. It's lame. So when I see Davi, I get mad at him for that. But he
Just
doesn't
my
care.
coat.
Yeah. Other color. Gold. But other color in general, if I were to come back or something, it'd be cool to be a platinum ranger. Because like I know they have titanium and silver and graphite and a mercury ranger, but there's no platinum.
That's true.
Or a pink ranger would be cool too. I rock pink. It goes well with the skin tone. So, yes.
Actually, in Avatar Sentai Dawn Brothers, there's a male Pink Ranger, so...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hey.
Kiji brother.
That'd be cool. I'd be down. So yeah, I guess, another live action, which it's not technically an anime, but to be in Avatar: The Last Airbender would be cool. I did audition for Sokka, not for that, but for the M. Night Shyamalan one.
I'm sorry.
I never even saw it, honestly.
That's awful.
The reason I didn't see it, though, was I had my third callback for Power Rangers Samurai, which I did not book, obviously, but I did try. And all my friends were going to the midnight premiere of M. Night Shyamalan's Airbender, and I had the audition the next day, so I skipped out because I was like, I'll be a good boy and study my lines and get sleep. And then afterwards, like, do not watch it. It was not good.
You did not miss anything.
Yeah, but I still feel weird not watching it because
You can watch it and you're going to hate yourself.
that's what I know. It's
I mean,
hard.
If you were a fan of the cartoon series,
It's my
you
favorite
will
cartoon
not
series of all
like
time,
the
so-
movie. It was just bad.
I know. So I would have liked to have been Sokka, but like I know when they made the Netflix one, like I'm now older than Sokka.
Yeah.
So, you know.
And what's funny now is Netflix is actually developing a live action Avatar: The Last Airbender
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's younger than me at this point. So it would have been back in the day had they done it. Yeah.
I enjoyed Bebop for
I didn't
what
see
it was.
I didn't see the live action.
It
There's
was-
a lot of them these days.
I
I never
enjoyed
watched
it.
the Death Note one either.
No, Death Note was bad.
I heard, yeah. So like, there's so many shows. Unless it gets like glowing reviews from my friends, I just don't.
So yeah, I have one final question, and it's because I watched some American Ninja Warrior, so I figure I have to ask this. How was your experience on American Ninja Warrior? Like, what was the casting process like, and what was it like running through the obstacle course?
Yeah, I actually did 2 different seasons. So I did one before I was a Power Ranger, and then one after I was a Power Ranger. And I vastly overestimated how good I would be at it just because I'm athletic versus actually training specifically for it. Because a lot of it, like, you don't get to run the course, at least when I did it, I don't know what the rules are now. We see the course, first time you touch it is when you do the course. Like, you don't get to, like, practice and, like, oh, this is what it would feel like. You're just like, all right, if you didn't practice in some backyard gym someone built, tough luck. And I was like, I'm strong, I'm athletic, I can do it. And then I would fall on things that, well, the first one, what was it? I fell out of the wheel thing, but I passed it on the day before, but then the time I fell out of it, my foot slipped. And then things you don't keep into, like, take into account, that one was filmed on Venice Beach. So it was like 4 a.m. by the time I ran, and things were like wet. Like the equipment, they tried to dry them with their towels, but all their towels are wet. So they're just like using damp cloths to dry damp things. And so you don't have the same grip as if you were like #1 to run or something. And then I think I fell on a pegboard another time. And then, where did I fall? Oh, and then when I came back after Power Rangers, I jumped to like this, I don't even know, like a barrel-shaped thing, and my foot slipped, and I caught it by the bottom, but I just couldn't get back up. Like, I was just stuck under that for like a minute. Like, it was too heavy to swing, and I couldn't flip up to grab it, so I was like, well, shoot. What can you do? So, yeah, I mean, I would try it again maybe if they gave me a spot, but you have to, like, send in, you have to film a video, you have to fill in a bunch of paperwork about it, and I don't want to go through that. But if someone's like, yeah, we have a spot for a Power Ranger, I'd be like, okay, I'll do it. So.
All right. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Of course.
Ooh.
Yes.
Since you brought up Avatar: The Last Airbender, if you were in that universe, what element would you want to be able to bend the most?
I know this question. Well, not fire. So we'll go the other way. The ones I wouldn't want the most first. And fire's cool, but like I feel like I could do more with the other ones. I'd probably say air because I want to be able to fly, and like water is a close second, but probably an airbender because I just think the ability to get around, you can't do that with the other elements depending on where you are as easily. Air is everywhere that we live, you know, unless like you're bending in space, but I would die anyway then. Like, I don't know. That wouldn't really be helpful.
Would you rather a flying bison or a flying lemur?
Bison? The lemur can't carry me. But like, it has to be, I don't know. Are we talking like in current world where people would like then try to capture my bison for science and stuff, and I have to fight them? Or they're like cool with my bison, they leave it alone? They're cool with it. Then yeah, the bison. Yeah.
Would you want, if you had the chance, would you want to be casted as Sokka's father?
Yeah. Put me in the water tribe in any way, shape, or form. That's cool with me. I just want to be in that world. That'd be cool. I mean, I'm assuming the water tribe's the only one I look like, so heck, I'd be another tribe too, or nation, whatever the heck they call them all. Yeah. Earth Nation, Fire Nation. Yeah, is it Earth Nation too? Or were they called something
Earth
else?
Kingdom.
Earth Kingdom, yeah. I was wrong. Earth Kingdom, Nation, Tribe, Nomads.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's coming back to me. Yeah. All right, guys, I think that pretty much
Yeah, I
does
think we're
it.
at the
So
top of
thank
the
you so
hour.
much for your time. I will be back at my booth right after this. So.
Right on. Thank you very much, Brennan. It's
Of
always a
course.
pleasure, sir.
Yes, thank you for moderating.
Thank you very much, everybody, for being here. Appreciate it. Still plenty more to come at the show.